So when I was 15 years old, I went to this really tiny town in the middle of Nevada, and we had vacation Bible school for children. And what I mean by children is we only allowed 4 years old through 6th grade to come to our vacation Bible school. And I met a little boy named Buddy who had never heard of Jesus before, even though he lived here in America. And he just loved coming to vacation Bible school. Every day, Buddy's older brother, Mike, came to pick him up in the coolest old truck. And so Mike and I became friends, and we started talking about the Jesus thing, as he used to call it. And Mike said that it was easy for people to come and do vacation Bible school for cute little kids, but who cared about teenagers? Who cared about college age? And who cared about the ugly? See, he said that most kids in his town would get a girl pregnant in high school, they would have to marry them, so by their early 20s they would be divorced and on to the next person. They would work at the mines and they would never leave their little towns. And the average Christian missionary pastor didn't want to live in those small towns in Nevada. Well, I was just honored enough that I told Mike that I was going to come back and stay forever and tell others about Jesus. But in the meantime, as we were sharing Christ with Buddy, he made a profession of salvation and wanted to grow up to be a missionary too, so that he could reach his brothers and others. So for the next year, I prayed and prayed and prayed that maybe God would choose me, God would call me to go back, and that maybe Buddy would be my partner, even though there was quite the age difference, that maybe we could go on to share Christ with all over Nevada. When I arrived back 1 year later for vacation Bible school, I found out that Mike and Buddy had been in a car accident, and Buddy died. And Mike said to me that that there was a girl in his town that was pregnant with his first child, and that he prayed that we would come back and tell that child about Jesus, so that one day Mike and his family would know Christ, so they could see Buddy again in heaven. Because for that entire past year, Buddy had been sharing Jesus in the absence of missionaries in that area. So since then, it's always been my goal to get back to those little tiny towns that are forgotten in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, as I like to call it. Little towns of more than 100 people, but less than 7,000. I drive about 4,000 to 6,000 miles every month to go see these kids in their own little towns, after school programs and vacation Bible schools till this day. See, there was a group of girls that were 12 when I first arrived at 22. They're just 10 years younger than me, but all 5 of them, their moms had gotten pregnant at 12 years old. My goal and my hope for them was that they would make it to their 14th birthday without being pregnant, and with really a new lease on life, that they would want to go on and do something great with their life for the Lord, but just go on with the Lord in their lives. And so those girls and I, we began to meet for Bible study. We met for Daughters of the King nights. We met for all these opportunities to love and share Christ. And on their 18th birthday, all but one were going off to college with no babies. The one was still in, she was pregnant, but she was in jail actually for a drug and alcohol addiction. Several years later, after that baby had been given up for adoption, that young lady ended up in a different Nevada town, and she walked into a church and she said, "Are you a Bible teaching church?" My missionary used to tell me that no matter where I went in the world, if I found a Bible teaching church, I would find the people of God there. It just so happened that I also was in that town 4 hours away sharing Christ, and she became a huge part of my ministry, even having the opportunity to adopt her son back. And that's just a very fun part of my ministry, is seeing God work in these people's lives to change them for the better.